Hersam Acorn Newspapers, publishers of the Greenwich Post, New Canaan Advertiser, the Darien Times, the Ridgefield Press, the Weston Forum, the Wilton Bulletin, the Reading Pilot, the Lewisboro Ledger, the Monroe Courier, the Eastern Courier, the Trumbull Times, Fairfield Sun, Shelton Herald, the Stratford Star, the Milford Mirror, and the Valley Gazette.
Hersam Acorn and HANradio.com. The leader in local news, sports, arts, and entertainment in southwestern Connecticut.
This is your coffee break on HANradio.com.
It's Monday, July 20th, and this is your coffee break on HANradio.com and streaming at the HAN network. John, we're back after some days on the road.
It was like an old concert tour back in the 70s. I hope we could get shirts made up with all of the stops, on the back.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of going out on tour, we're going to be talking with Ken Hayes of the Gathering of the Vibes later in the show. Looking forward to that.
It's an exciting time for them, celebrating 2 decades, and it still awes me that the place I hung out at when I was in college is now the home of a gigantic rock festival.
I know. It's pretty cool. But first, we're going to throw it to Donald Eng. Don, what's happening on the roads?
Quite a bit, actually. We've got road work up and down most of the highways here in Connecticut this morning. First off, Seymour, Route 8 southbound at exit 24. We've got road work until 4 o'clock. The right lane is closed. Also, in Bridgeport, 95 north at exit 26 until 3 o'clock today. The right lane closed there. 2 lanes closed on Route 7 north at exit 2. The left and center lanes closed until 3 o'clock. Also, 2 lanes closed on the Route 25 connector southbound at exit 6 until 3 o'clock today. So that's you're going to want to avoid that area if at all possible. As far as the weather goes, we have what you would call the 3 horsemen today with us. Hazy, hot, humid, high of 92 degrees. Slight chance of showers and thunderstorms after 1 o'clock. That chance of showers and T-storms continues overnight. We only go down to about 67. More of the same tomorrow. About 90 for the high, dropping into the low 60s. We finally get a break on Wednesday, and that will continue throughout the rest of the week. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, sunny during the days, low 80s, and clear, cool nights right around 60. So there is some relief on the way. Coffee break time, 11:03.
Thanks, Don. John, what's happening in the news this morning?
Kate, huge business news in southern Connecticut this morning. Lockheed Martin, which is the largest weapons maker in the United States, has agreed to purchase Sikorsky aircraft, most notable for making the Black Hawk helicopter, in a $9 billion deal, according to the Associated Press. Lockheed Martin said this morning it plans to add Sikorsky to its Mission Systems and Training Unit. United Technologies announced in June it planned to shed Sikorsky either through sale or spinoff. The aerospace and buildings conglomerate wants to focus on high technology systems and services for the aerospace and building industries. In addition to Black Hawk helicopters, Sikorsky makes the presidential helicopters, most notably known as Marine One. Sikorsky helicopters picked up astronauts after they splashed down in the Pacific Ocean at the end of space trips. This $9 billion deal to sell Sikorsky to Lockheed Martin is targeted to close by the end of the year or in the first quarter of 2016, and an official announcement is planned for today.
All right. Thanks, John. Well, in some other news, a former Boys and Girls Village employee was arrested on a warrant July 16th, charged with assaulting a juvenile under his care while he worked at the Boys and Girl Village, which is in Milford. 37-year-old Aaron Virgo of New Haven has been charged with third-degree assault and risk of injury to a minor. He was released on a promise to appear in court August 11th. The Boys and Girls Village has issued a statement saying it is fully cooperating with the investigation of a former employee arrested on a warrant Thursday. Details of the alleged assault have not been disclosed, but it is said to have happened several months ago. The village provides residential and daycare programs for at-risk students and in elementary and high school. It serves as both a mental health treatment program and a school. Stephen M. Cant, who is the president and CEO of the village, in a statement released over the weekend, said the facility remains committed to the utmost safety of the children under its care. He said, quote, "We took immediate action upon learning of the allegations against the employee by reporting them to the Connecticut Department of Children and Families." They also said they suspended that employee and opened their own internal investigation. That probe, which included interviews and a review of video cameras, ultimately resulted in Virgo being fired. It is unclear what position Virgo held at the facility or how long he worked there. Coffee break time is 11:05.
Exit 8 off Interstate 91 has reopened, as has Foxen Road, also known as Route 80 in East Haven, near the New Haven line, after a shooting early this morning. Police said shortly after 8 a.m. they responded to a gas station on Foxen Boulevard on a report that someone has been shot. A 20-year-old New Haven resident was taken to Yale New Haven Hospital, where he is currently listed in critical condition. We'll bring you more as it develops.
Thanks, John. Well, Hartford police say a man is in critical condition after a shooting outside a nightclub that also injured a woman. Deputy Chief Brian Foley said 33-year-old Jason Darkers was in critical but stable condition Sunday after surgery for several gunshot wounds. Foley said a 21-year-old woman was accidentally hit, but the wound is not life-threatening. He said a fight started inside the Vibes Uptown Club on Main Street and continued in the crowded parking lot, where an unidentified suspect deliberately fired at Darkers just before 2 a.m. and also accidentally shot the woman. Coffee break time is 11:06.
A man was found dead in a brook in Naugatuck Sunday afternoon, and police are investigating. Police were called to the 300 block of Rubber Avenue around 4:15 yesterday on a report of an unresponsive man in the water between Etna Street and Rubber Avenue. Officers found the man unresponsive. He was taken to St. Mary's Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Naugatuck police are still investigating the circumstances, and no further information was made available.
Well, John, the Valley Indy is reporting that a suspect in a stolen car fleeing police nearly collided with the Derby mayor before crashing on Main Street near City Hall on Friday. The suspect then took off on foot, setting off a brief but intense manhunt in downtown Derby. Police found the man hiding behind Archie Moore's, a restaurant on Elizabeth Street. And if you're watching us on the live stream, that's a photo from the Valley Indy's website. The incident started at about 11:30 a.m. when an officer on patrol tried to stop an Infiniti the man was driving for a simple motor vehicle violation. The vehicle had been reported stolen out of Hamden. The car took off, traveling from Olivia Street and then down the wrong way on 6th Street, where it took out a road sign and lost its front bumper. Diners at the New River House Cafe at the corner of Elizabeth and 5th Streets saw the car fly by. The Infiniti made its way to Minerva Street after passing Elizabeth Street, where there was a bustling crowd outside the courthouse. The vehicle floored it, reaching an estimated speed of 60 miles per hour. Mayor Anita D'Agato was in her blue Volvo, attempting to leave Sterling Plaza on Minerva when the speeding car rushed by. And there's more on that story at valleyindy.org.
So you almost hit the mayor and you leave police on a chase?
Yeah.
And then you get caught behind Archie Moore's. Apparently going to have some wings here while we're waiting for the cops.
Wreck the car, may as well go get some wings, right?
There you go.
This is just in some unemployment news from the state of Connecticut. Connecticut's unemployment rate for June fell to 5.7%. That means that 2,600 jobs were added in Connecticut last month, and that unemployment rate is down from 6.5% for June of 2014, according to the Connecticut Department of Labor. Coffee break time's coming up on 11:10. How hot's it going to get, Don?
Quite. Very. And the good news is it's going to be about 92 degrees. It's going to feel like it's about 106 with the heat index. That is our forecast for pretty much today and tomorrow. Hazy. Hot, humid today, high of 92, only dropping down to about 70 degrees overnight. Chance of showers or thunderstorms in the afternoon and through the night. Pretty much the same thing for tomorrow. But like I said earlier, it clears out on Wednesday. So the whole second half of the week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, highs in the low 80s, clear nights in the low 60s. So some relief on the way. Right now, outside our Shelton studio, it is already 91 degrees, 87 on the Hilltop in Ridgefield, 87 in Fairfield. And as just a quick check of the roads, Everything pretty much the same as it was before. Road work on Route 8 South in Seymour, also on the 95 North in Bridgeport, on the Route 7 Expressway, northbound at exit 1 in Norwalk, and on 25 South at exit 6. All of that with lane closures. So your coffee break time is 11:10.
Thanks, Don. We're going to step out for a minute. We come back. We're going to look back at a monumental day in history and catch up on sports with Andrew Frateroli. You're listening to Coffee Break on HANradio.com, streaming live on the Hersam Acorn Network.
Your child has fallen and broken his arm. You need to see an orthopedist fast. Think Coastal Ortho Express in Norwalk. Don't wait hours in the ER. Save a trip and money by going straight to an orthopedic specialist at Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care in Norwalk. No appointment necessary. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, 203-845-2070. Open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or call 203-845-2070. Fast.
A variety of food trucks, hands-on activities, live music, a different theme every night, plus top women's tennis. It's the 2015 Connecticut Open presented by United Technologies. Be there as some of the world's best competed at the largest pro tennis event in New England. And catch famous players John McEnroe, James Blake, and more in the men's Legends event presented by PowerShares Series. It all adds up to one legendary week, August 21st through the 29th, at the Connecticut Tennis Center in New Haven. Get your tickets at ctopen.org.
The long winter is finally astern. Bait is invading the harbors, coves, and inlets. Stripers, fluke, and porgies are on the move. In the streams and lakes, trout, smallmouth, largemouth, and walleye have moved out of hibernation. At the dock shop, it's all systems go. And now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, and their newest location at 609 Riverside Avenue in Westport. Bait, tackle, apparel, and of course, all the marine and nautical accessories that they're known for are ready for you at the dock shop. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport. Visit us at dockshop.com.
Healthy, confident smiles begin at Stratford Orthodontics. Conveniently located on Main Street, we are Stratford's hometown orthodontist. We offer the latest in orthodontic technology, including Damon braces and Invisalign. We always accept new patients. Call today to schedule a complimentary consultation. 203-375-8332. Stratford Orthodontics, 2499 Main Street, Stratford. 203-375-8332, and online at stratfordsmile.com.
Alliance. We are an industry leader in coordinating transportation for large events such as corporate road shows, conferences, and special events. Our team of experts understands the dynamics and logistics of high-pressure situations and complex arrangements, all within a rapidly changing environment. Since 1999, we have added charter jets, event management, and personal protection to our range of services. Mention this ad for $25 off your next round-trip reservation. Alliance and you. Together, we can achieve the extraordinary. 855-546-6996 or alliancelimo.com.
Hersam Acorn and HANradio.com.
It's 11:14 on your coffee break, presented by Stratford Orthodontics. Kate Czaplinski with John Kovach, Donald Eng, and Don, I'm throwing it to you now for a look at this day in history.
Well, it is a momentous day. It's actually officially on the calendar at the commemoration of the day. But first, we start in the year 911 A.D. The Viking leader Rollo, or as Kate calls him, Ragnar's way hotter brother, lays siege to Chartres outside of Paris. We're hoping to see that on Season 4. In 1903, the Ford Motor Company ships its first car, a Model A, to Ernst Pfennig, a Chicago dentist. 1997, the fully restored USS Constitution celebrates its 200th birthday by setting sail under its own power for the first time in 116 years. In the photo there, you see Constitution firing its guns in a salute. While underway in Massachusetts Bay, it is also being escorted by the frigate USS Halliburton and the destroyer USS Ramage, while the Navy Blue Angels pass overhead. Ordinarily, that would be the coolest photo of the day. Not today. Finally, 1969, there was this.
Very, very fine grained as you get close to it. It's almost like a powder. Ground mass is very fine. I'm going to step off the laminate. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Oh, that looks beautiful. The surface appears to be...
Armstrong stepping off the lunar lander onto the surface of the moon. On this day, 1969, Apollo 11 successfully lands on the moon in the Sea of Tranquility. Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin become the first humans to walk on the moon later that day. A couple of interesting footnotes. First of all, Neil Armstrong was never really happy with the audio of his transmission because, as he said it, it really doesn't make any sense. He maintains that he actually said one small step for a man, though he concedes it is a bit difficult to hear on the audio.
We talk live all the time, and every now and then words get dropped.
Occasionally.
Maybe that's what happened.
That's about right. He apparently he might have been a bit nervous, maybe focusing on something else as he was stepping off, and he flubbed his line.
Back from the moon,
such as yes, that would have been fairly high on my list. Also, another interesting fact there, the famous photo of that astronaut Michael Collins took of the lander flying away from the lunar orbiter. Every single human being ever to live is in that photo, except astronaut Michael Collins, the forgotten astronaut, also the only one left out of that photo. Also, there are virtually no photos of Neil Armstrong on the moon. The astronauts split time with the camera, and Buzz, for reasons he never really explained, only took one photo of Neil on the moon. There he is right there. You can just see his back as he works on the lander. The other well-known photo of Neil is actually a selfie. That is a picture that Neil Armstrong took of Buzz Aldrin with Neil reflected in Aldrin's visor. A truly remarkable day, one of the most amazing in all of human history.
Just wish I was old enough to remember it. I wasn't quite 4 yet, so...
Yeah, I mean, I can only imagine what it was like. That I'm sure like the kids in schools must have been watching. It just had to be. I remember my mother talking about her mother was like cheering, shouting at the TV as it happened. So just an amazing day.
It was an amazing time because you had a unified pursuit. The country wanted to win the space race. They wanted to be the best, and it was a good time because there was a lot of innovation, hard work, etc., being rewarded with what we just showed.
Sure, and as we always talk about politicians not sugarcoating things, as John F. Kennedy famously said, we choose to go not because it's easy, but because it's hard. Hard, yes. That's your look back in history, and I am Donald Eng.
Thanks, Don. Well, we're going to throw it to Andrew Frateroli now for a sports update. Andrew?
Thanks, Kate. I'll start with American Legion as always. The 19U state tournament is well underway, and the teams that have advanced to the best of 3 series from Zone 4 are Stanford, who got an automatic place in the series because they were the zone winners, Trumbull, who will take on Stanford in the series after beating Westport 4-3, another Zone 4 team, and Greenwich, who shut out Shelton in a close, low-scoring game, 1-0. The winners of their respected series will go on to a Final Four tournament in Middletown. The Bluefish are away for a 4-game series against the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs. I'm really happy I got that right. I always mess up on that. As
Good
their
job.
first game is tonight at 7:05. Just thought I'd give you the time in case you were thinking about traveling to Maryland for the game. On July 18th, a couple days ago, the Tampa Bay Rays took on the Toronto Blue Jays in an AL East matchup. Normally, I wouldn't touch on the subject. However, former New Canaan baseball player Kurt Casale came up huge for the Rays in the top of the 8th. Casale got a cutter up in the zone from Toronto reliever Ryan Tepera, I believe I'm saying that right, in which he shot over the left field wall to give the Rays the game-winning run in a 3-2 win. That was his second professional home run, and now he has a .242 batting average. And finally, head coach of the Darien hockey team, Chris Gerwig, is taking a leave and will be replaced by his assistant coach of 4 years, Mac Budd. Gerwig brought home Darien's first state championship since 1969 earlier this year. With sports, I'm Andrew Frateroli. Coffee break time, 11:19.
Thanks, Andrew.
You're welcome, Kate.
All right. Well, getting back to some more news this morning, Tim Shaw, Easton's new police chief and former assistant chief to the Stamford Police Department, assumed his new post Friday morning. Police brass and officers from more than 16 departments and law enforcement agencies, family and friends packed the community room at the Easton Public Library for his swearing-in ceremony Thursday evening. Police Commission Chairman Richard Colangelo administered the oath of office, and First Selectman Adam Dunsby also officiated. In addition to Colangelo, Police Commissioners Marvin Gelfand, Lori Israel, and Tom Herman stood with Shaw as he recited the oath. Shaw's wife, Nancy, pinned on his official badge, flanked by their children, Taylor, 18, and Ryan, 15. He said he was honored to be chosen as Easton's new chief and to be a member of the Easton Police Chief Club. Also, prior to the meeting, Colangelo addressed the matter of the absent commissioner, Raymond Martin, who was arrested Tuesday on federal charges in connection with an investigation into an internal steroid and prescription narcotic distribution ring. Colangelo said these are serious allegations. We're concerned for Mr. Martin and his family. Mr. Martin has taken a leave of absence from the police commission and won't be involved in any of the duties of the commission until this matter is resolved. Martin is also a member of the Planning and Zoning Commission and the Easton Republican Town Committee. Coffee break time is 11:21.
Kate, it's been about 8 weeks since the New Canaan Planning and Zoning Commission gave its final approval to developer Richard Caratow's plan to build a federal-style building that would house the New Canaan Post Office on Locust Avenue. Since then, negotiations involving the developer and the Postal Service over a variety of issues have been moving, but very slowly, a glacial pace, according to the New Canaan Advertiser. Terms on a 10-year lease have been agreed upon, but there remain various building decisions that must be approved. The New Canaan Advertiser was updated by email about the future of the facility. Basically, it's happened. They're working on it. You can read more at ncadvertiser.com.
Thanks, John. Well, for the past 55 years, the smooth operation of the longest-running book fair in New England has been dependent on a single factor: hundreds of dedicated volunteers who work to make it the best. The Mark Twain Library's signature fundraiser, which takes place over Labor Day weekend at the Reading Community Center, features tens of thousands of items and requires hundreds of volunteers. This year, the book fair will welcome back longtime helpers like the mother-daughter teams of the Reading and Easton chapter of the National Charity League, and also get assistance from new faces like members of the Joel Barlow High School wrestling team. Volunteers are needed from Tuesday, September 1st through Wednesday, September 3rd to set up the book fair, which starts at 9 a.m. The fair opens Friday, September 4th and runs through Monday, September 7th. There are a variety of jobs for volunteers. In addition to setting up and taking down the fair, volunteers work as cashiers, baggers, and merchandisers to organize and display materials. Students middle school age and up are welcome to volunteer. For more information on that, you can visit marktwainlibrary.org, visit the library, or call 203-938-2545. Coffee break time is 11:23.
Breaking news out of Norwalk, this from the hour. A crew from Eversource Energy is on the scene where a utility pole was snapped and wires are down across Bluff Avenue in Rowayton. The pole was broken by a commercial refuse truck around 10 o'clock this morning. Bluff Avenue is closed for traffic. No timeline on repair or reopening of the roadway.
Thanks, John. Well, we're coming up on 11:24. Don, anything change out there on the roads?
Unfortunately, not too much has changed out on the roads, and double unfortunately, not much has changed with the weather. The roads still look pretty much the same. The only thing of note that has happened in the last few minutes, the state now reporting that there is road work on 91 South in Cromwell and also on 84 eastbound at exit 16 in Southbury. Other than that, we still have the same incidents that we were talking about all morning. Route 8 South in Seymour, road work until 4 with a lane closed. Also 95 North in Bridgeport, exit 26 until 3 o'clock, the right lane closed. Finally, on 7 North in Norwalk at exit 2 until 3 o'clock, the left and center lanes are closed. And then, as we mentioned with the weather, it's going to be warm today. 92 degrees for the high. High humidity also. A slight chance of showers and thunderstorms after 1 o'clock. That chance continues throughout the night as we head down to a low of about 67. Call it a 20% or so chance of precipitation. Tomorrow, more of the same. High of 89, dropping down into the dropping down to about 70 overnight. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, sunny days, about 81 for a high, and clear nights, about 60 for a low. So there's some relief coming, but not today. 91 degrees right now outside our Shelton studio, 87 in Ridgefield, 87 in Fairfield. Coffee break time is 11:25.
All right, thanks, Don. Well, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about the 20th anniversary of the Gathering of the Vibes. That's coming up after this.
It's Lots of Characters, specializing in children's birthday parties with your child's favorite characters. When you want to party hardy, when you need to celebrate, call us. We won't be late. We help create lasting memories for you and your child on their special day. Call us at 203-590-1791 or visit our website at lotsofcharacters.org for more information and to see our party packages. Lots of Characters, 203-590-1791 or online at lotsofcharacters.org.
Located in the heart of picturesque downtown Ridgefield at 13 Governor Street, Colby's is the area's premier retailer for blinds, shades, shutters, and draperies, and is one of the select few Hunter Douglas Gallery dealers. A family-owned and operated company, Colby's experienced staff will work with you in choosing the best treatments for your home or office and offer free measuring and expert installation. Colby's also carries an extensive line of decorative fabrics including Schumacher, Durley, Tebow, and more. Or browse over 400 books in our wallpaper library from famous designers such as Stroheim, Schumacher, Ralph Lauren, Tebow, and York. Take advantage of our Fashion in Motion savings event with savings and rebates on Hunter Douglas shades with Power Rise technology. Colby's of Ridgefield. We are committed to your complete satisfaction. 203-438-8531.
The long winter is finally astern. Bait is invading the harbors, coves, and inlets. Stripers, fluke, and porgies are on the move. In the streams and lakes, trout, smallmouth, largemouth, and walleye have moved out of hibernation. At the dock shop, it's all systems go. And now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, and their newest location at 609 Riverside Avenue in Westport. Bait, tackle, apparel, and of course, all the marine and nautical accessories that they're known for are ready for you at the dock shop. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport. Visit us at dockshop.com.
Kite Rockefeller Estate is Westchester County's top cultural attraction and is now open for the season. Don't miss out. Go online to hudsonvalley.org to plan your visit. Take a drive out to beautiful Sleepy Hollow, New York, and enjoy Kite stunning architecture, breathtaking gardens, expansive art galleries, and commanding Hudson River views. From world-class art by Picasso and Warhol to expertly tended gardens, there's something for everyone. Kite Rockefeller Estate, a National Trust for Historic Preservation landmark.
Now you can keep up with what's happening in Darien with the convenience of the Darien Times Online. Your choice. Print or digital subscription for just $45 a year. Or get the print and digital bundle for just $10 more, $55 a year. To subscribe to the Darien Times, go to hersamsecure.com/CIRC or call the circulation department at 203-894-3388. The Darien Times, now in print and online. Don't miss a single issue. Subscribe today.
You're listening to Hersam Acorn Radio.
And we're back with your coffee break. I'm Kate Czaplinski with John Kovach. Still looking at some of the headlines today. A bit later in the show, we're going to be talking with Gathering of the Vibes founder Ken Hayes. Looking forward to that, John.
That's going to be a lot of fun. Always a huge event. Really can't talk about anything today without talking about how hot it is.
No, you really can't. And it's sort of it could be a dangerous heat too. Like I know yesterday in Monroe, Don, I saw that they were looking for a missing elderly woman, and thank goodness they found her because how scary, especially in this weather, which can be so dangerous.
Oh, sure. And as we always say, you know, don't leave your pets in the car. Or your pets. People sometimes have left if their child is asleep in the car seat and they just want to run in and then run back out. Don't do that. That's definitely. That's just an extremely dangerous thing to do.
Yeah, and I know some of the nearby towns and cities have been opening cooling centers. And I mean, if you don't have air conditioning, the best place to go, really, the library, always great, always air conditioned, you know, if you really need to cool off.
Go take a stroll around the mall.
That's true, visit the mall, so, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Bridgeport announced yesterday they had cooling stations, but I've heard nothing on today yet.
I did see something today on Twitter.
Oh, was there something today?
Yeah.
I've been looking and...
Yeah.
Trying to find that. Norwalk, I believe, also has something.
Right, but as we said, every town has some places, public places you can go to cool off, and definitely don't stay outside for too long. I feel badly for anyone trying to work outside today. Yeah, seeing a movie would be the perfect thing to do with kids today. Definitely.
That is a good idea.
All right, well. Getting to some other news today, we always love a good bear story, and the Wilton Bulletin has the latest one. Sue and Gordon Lucy of Wilton sent some photos to the Wilton Bulletin of a very agile bear that visited their Hillbrook Road yard on July 12th. The Lucys were eating breakfast while, unbeknownst to them, a bear was doing the same, helping himself to some bird seed. The bear did not destroy the feeder, rather it disassembled a squirrel-proof tubular Niger seed feeder, ate several of the tiny seeds, and left without otherwise damaging the feeder. So that's kind of amazing.
It's sort of like eating almonds in the shell. He probably decided it was just too much work for too little. I mean, I'm picturing the bear with a Phillips head screwdriver.
I mean, it's very impressive. Just goes to show you how smart they are.
And if the pictures, which are on WiltonBulletin.com, he's standing upright on 2 feet. It's quite impressive to see, and to have the dexterity to disassemble that squirrel feeder that probably took somebody a significant investment in time to assemble.
Well, if we've learned one thing today, it's that bears are smarter than squirrels.
Apparently so.
Yeah.
And you were enjoying a bear story from out west.
Yes, in Washington State. There was an incredible bear story. A bear there at a state park, I guess, broke into a cooler, drank 36 beers, and then slept it off. And when they tried to wake him up and chase him out of the campground, he just climbed up a tree to sleep it off some more. And he left the bush beer behind. He only drank one kind of beer that they had.
Not going to be grabbing any picnic baskets today. No, just not going to happen.
Just not feeling it.
Yeah.
I mean, he was able to open the cans too. Oh, I think he just clawed him open. I don't think that
he
would be.
He didn't pop the tab.
He didn't pop the tab.
I
that
don't think
would
he has
something.
to worry about popping tabs, Kate. I don't think.
So yeah, we love a good bear story around here.
Could almost see him just really biting it off, be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, John.
Well, Kate, we've got some news out of Seymour where the pastor of St. Augustine Church has been removed from his post pending an investigation into missing funds. In a letter sent to the parish, church officials wrote that because of news about Father Onore Combo last weekend, that many people were surprised, upset, and had questions. They are now hearing more unreliable stories. At this point, they cannot relate the entire story, church officials said, saying it would jeopardize the ongoing investigation. However, Reverend Sean Daly, the vicar for Priest, had given permission for a synopsis. At the beginning of 2015, the church council at St. Augustine, church trustees, and parish office began to notice discrepancies in the church's 2014 financial records. There were a number of meetings. It was decided to alert several key offices in the chancery. There was an investigation that is ongoing, and for now, Father Onore Combo is not in his post. Don Eng covered the valley there. Don, what do you know on that?
Well, that's actually it was through a very long series of events. I actually had been on the parish council and still run the Rogue Facebook page for St. Augustine. It's kind of surprising, and that also was a bit of a. First of all, it's disappointing. I mean, the parish community is certainly disappointed, and there's a lot of confusion about what's going to happen to the community. Now, that also, by the way, is the same parish where Father Steve Bezdera was pulled from after allegations of abuse and previously and some misappropriation of school funds in a previous post. So Father Steve Bezdera was removed from that parish. Father Honore Combo was his replacement, and now obviously the Reverend Combo has been removed. So that parish has had a rough run of it in the last couple of years.
That's a tough stretch. That is tough stretch.
Well, I believe we have our guests lined up and ready to go. So we're so excited. Big event coming up in the area soon. And we're joined on the phone right now by Ken Hayes, Executive Director and founder of Gathering of the Vibes, which is celebrating its 20th anniversary this year. Ken, welcome to Coffee Break.
Thank you. Good to be with you guys.
Good to be with you, too. How are you feeling? You must be busy leading up to the Vibes in a couple weeks.
Indeed, yeah. Less than 2 weeks away.
Wow.
All is well. It's a little toasty out there for the 30-plus people down at Seaside, right? And putting up fencing and basically building a city for the 20,000-plus people that we're expecting to host July 30th through August 2nd.
Ken, John Kovach, how long does it take to physically prepare Seaside Park for an event of that magnitude?
It's just about 6 weeks.
That's quite an undertaking.
It is, yeah. But we've got an amazing group of people that are banging it out and making it ready and beautiful. And the city's done a spectacular job in working with us and preparing. And if you haven't been down to Seaside Park lately, it's just absolutely stunning. Some of the upgrades and just the beautiful monuments that they've installed, and it's just it's not your father's old Seaside Park. It is truly an absolutely stunning park right on Long Island Sound, a mile and a half of beach, and it's absolutely beautiful, and we're ready to accept some smiling faces.
I can say it was Seaside Park that drew me to the University of Bridgeport long ago, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
More than that. And to have seen the changes in it, it really has polished a gem that you guys make great use of.
Without question. And the University of Bridgeport's been incredibly cool, allowing and opening up their dormitories for our staff and the Hubble Gymnasium so that our VIPs can take showers in the morning, and it's just in the Marina Dining Hall for all of our staff to eat, which has just recently been renovated. It's really they continue to make incredible improvements to the university, and I'm really, really pleased and proud of the job that they've done, and Bridgeport is changing, and it's changing quickly, and now the old Remington factory on the east side of Seaside is going to turn into condos and mixed use with businesses, and it's all moving very, very quickly. Now that we see Steel Point, is I drove by it a couple of days ago, and the buildings are all up, and it just continues to flourish. So exciting times for Bridgeport.
Yeah. And Ken, on our live stream right now, we're kind of going through some photos from last year's Vibes, and it really is just so incredible, just kind of the community it creates. And I think what's great that you guys do is there's something for everyone. Isn't that right? In all ages. It's really, a lot of people bring their kids, and it's just a fun weekend. Tell us about that. Tell us about kind of including everyone.
Yeah, I think what differentiates Gathering the Vibes from all the other musical events that happen throughout, the Northeast, really, is how kid-friendly Gathering of the Vibes really has always been, but continues to be. Last year, we had just about 2,500 kids under the age of 15 that attended the festival with their kids. And, we've got the School of Rock, Teen Vibe stage, Kids Corner, and where's face painting and a Ferris wheel, and then musical instruction for the kids. And it's, engaging the kids and the families and getting them away from the TV and video games and go down to a beautiful park with lots of colors and smiling faces is really something that's quite unique and special. And we're thrilled to be able to host it, right here in our home in Connecticut.
Now, Ken, tell us about some of the acts that you guys are featuring this year. It's quite a range.
It is, and pretty consistent with, years gone by. It's, it ranges from bluegrass to folk to rock to rhythm and blues to straight up rock and roll, and names like Branford Marsalis will be with us, and Branford joined us a couple years ago. He'll be part of a 20th anniversary Vibe celebration on Saturday night. Greg Allman of the Allman Brothers Band, along with Warren Haynes and the Tedeschi Trucks Band, and Wilco, Ben Harper, Weezer. Maybe some names that people don't recognize, but might recognize their music. But with the common denominator and the underlying tone of, incredible musicianship. It's really quite special. Some names like Doyle Bramall, who for many years performed recently with Eric Clapton as his lead guitarist. And, Derek Trucks also toured with Eric recently, and Rolling Stone asked Eric Clapton, what's it feel like to be, the most amazing guitar player in history? And Eric responded, "I really don't know. You'd have to ask Derek Trucks." So he's there with his wife Susan Tedeschi and their incredible band, and Bill Kreutzmann of the Grateful Dead will be with us, and Dweezil Zappa's son, Frank Zappa's son, Dweezil, be joining us as well, and a bunch of Connecticut bands like Deep Banana Blackout and Kung Fu. It is really truly something for everyone, and lots of craft vendors, and food vendors that certainly aren't your everyday carnival food by any means. Everything from burgers and dogs that you'd expect, but the vegetarian cuisine, and along with our nonprofit and sustainability village, and in these crazy times, it's really important that we take a step back and see what we can do in our individual lives to affect positive change in our world. Lord knows we need it, and there's so much insanity happening right now that I think what the Vibes has is what's really unique is that about 85% of the attendees come back every year. Lots from Connecticut. We offer single-day tickets if you want to come for the day. And family day is Sunday, where kids 15 and under with their parents are free. Normally it's 12 and under are free. And it's just a beautiful space and great people of like-minded soul, and it's something very, very special. And to celebrate our 20th this summer is a milestone and something that I'm very proud to bring to the Park City.
Ken, tell us about the birth of the Gathering of the Vibes now 20 years ago.
Sure. Myself being a big fan of the Grateful Dead and having seen the band, a little over 350 times, it was devastating for myself and my close friends that, when Jerry Garcia passed in August of 1995. And they had a beautiful tribute for Jerry out in Golden Gate Park in San Francisco. And then when the Grateful Dead organization contacted Mayor Giuliani's office in New York City and asking if the mayor's office would support and accommodate a similar gathering in Central Park, he respectfully declined based on the costs that would be incurred by New York City police and fire and EMS and cleanup crews and that kind of thing. So after the mayor's office declined it, myself and a couple of friends went to SUNY Purchase College and said, hey, we really want to put on a camping music celebration. And they were receptive, and it was a beautiful, beautiful event that hosted about 3,500 people Memorial Day weekend in 1996 on the SUNY Purchase campus. And the following year, we moved it just because we couldn't accommodate more people. We moved to Croton Point Park, where the Clearwater Festival happens. And the event doubled in size, and that was really the origin from where it all began 20 years ago.
Wow. And can you believe it's been 20 years? I believe it.
It actually feels like more. But there's bluegrass and just, it's not, the diversity is something that I'm really, really proud of, and to have Max Creek with us, and they've been with us for years, and Strange Folk, and then again a bunch of bands that people just don't hear on the radio, but that have just amazing amounts of talent. We get about 2,000 band submissions per year, and only have space for about 50 bands on 3 stages. So it's really difficult to pick amazing bands that really truly deserve to be featured on the Vibe stages. So it's exciting.
Great. Well, Ken, if people want to go this year, where can they get more information?
They can check out the website. All the information's there at gatheringofthevibes.com or govibes.com. And, all the ticket pricing and all the specifics, what to bring, what not to bring, and all the information's up there. Or give us a call here at the office, and we've got a great bunch of people that can help answer any questions that you might have. Phone number is 203-908-3030.
Great. All right, Ken. Well, we're hoping to make it. I know there's a lot of us here that are eager to go. So it sounds like a great lineup. Yeah. All right, Ken.
It is.
Well, thanks so much for talking with us.
Absolutely. Thanks for taking the time, and looking forward to seeing you down at Seaside in less than a couple weeks.
All right, great. Well, we're coming up on 11:48 on your coffee break. We're going to take a break and come back with some more sports and headlines after this.
Healthy, confident smiles begin at Stratford Orthodontics. Conveniently located on Main Street, we are Stratford's hometown orthodontist. We offer the latest in orthodontic technology, including Damon braces and Invisalign. We always accept new patients. Call today to schedule a complimentary consultation. 203-375-8332. Stratford Orthodontics, 2499 Main Street, Stratford. 203-375-8332. And online at stratfordsmile.com.
Did you know that taking dance lessons is a great date night idea? Arthur Murray Grand Ballroom of Greenwich is a fabulous place to learn to dance and meet new people. Located at 6 Lewis Street, our studio is staffed with professional instructors, ready to teach you salsa, waltz, rumba, hustle, tango. There's a dance for every season. And we are rated #1 on the Knot.com. We are the wedding dance specialists. Take advantage of our new student offer, only $49. Call 203-769-1800. Visit us online at arthurmurraygreenwich.com.
It's grilling season, and Walter Stewart's Market is your local destination for the finest grill-ready certified Angus beef strip steaks, skirt steaks, 100% grass-fed ribeyes, all-natural pork ribs, Arthur Ave-style kebabs, fresh-cut veggies, delicious grab-and-go salads, chilled rosé wine, and ice-cold craft brews right next door. Walter Stewart's, your fresh local market. 229 Elm Street, New Canaan, and shop online for groceries and wine delivered to your door at stewartsmarket.com.
It's easy to advertise on HANradio.com, reach 263,000 listeners each month with our sports programming and talk programming. Call Mary Ann Hersam at 203-417-5199.
A variety of food trucks, hands-on activities, live music, plus top superstars of women's tennis and the Men's Legends event. The 2015 Connecticut Open presented by United Technologies, August 21st through the 29th. Get your tickets today at ctopen.org.
Hersam Acorn and HANradio.com.
It's 11:50 on your coffee break, presented by Stratford Orthodontics. Kate Czaplinski, joined now again by Andrew Frateroli with another sports update.
Thanks, Kate. I'll start with American Legion, per usual. The 19U state tournament well underway, and the teams that have advanced to the best of 3 series from Zone 4 are Stanford, who automatically got a place in the series because they were the zone winners, Trumbull, who will take on Stanford in the series after beating Westport, another Zone 4 team, 4-3, and Greenwich, who shut out Shelton, another Zone 4 team, in a close, low-scoring game 1-0. The winners of their respective series will go on to a Final Four championship tournament in Middletown. The Bluefish are away on a 4-game series against the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, as their first game is tonight at 7:05. July 18th, a couple days back, the Tampa Bay Rays took on the Toronto Blue Jays in an AL East matchup. Normally, I wouldn't cover this game. However, former New Canaan catcher Curt Casale came up huge for the Rays in the top of the 8th. Casale got a cutter up in the zone from Toronto reliever Ryan Tepera, in which he shot over the left field wall to give the Rays the game-winning run in a 3-2 win. That was his second MLB home run, and he now is hitting .242 in the majors. And finally, the head coach of the Darien hockey team, Chris Gerwig, is taking a leave and will be replaced by his assistant coach of 4 years, Mac Budd. Gerwig brought home Darien's first state championship title since 1969 earlier this year. With sports, I'm Andrew Frateroli. Coffee break time, 11:51.
Thanks, Andrew.
You're welcome, Kate.
Well, getting back to some news this morning, a former West Haven animal control officer has been arrested, accused of stealing donations meant to cover medical care for animals at the shelter. 46-year-old Jason Vitelli of Northford was a founding member and treasurer of the nonprofit Wags and Whiskers, which has collected funds by redeeming bottles and cans that the public donated to the Collis Street shelter, then using the cash to pay for veterinary care. Police started investigating in January and arrested Vitelli, who was employed as the animal control officer since 1997. Vitelli is accused of redeeming cans and bottles that members of the public donated to the shelter and pocketing the money for himself. His supervisors discovered that he started redeeming the cans and bottles but collected the money rather than providing it to Wags and Whiskers. Police said Vitelli is also accused of damaging a storage area where the redeemable items were kept. He was arrested and charged with second-degree larceny and third-degree criminal mischief. He is no longer employed by the city of West Haven, according to police. Coffee break time is 11:53.
We'll have an update on this story tomorrow, but as we speak, the city of Bridgeport is holding a press conference on hurricane preparedness. June through November is peak hurricane season. They have 180 community emergency response team members at the ready.
That's amazing.
That's a lot of people.
It's impressive, yeah.
I was on a CERT in New Canaan, and we had 30-some, and that was a lot.
Yeah, I was on a CERT in Ridgefield, and that was very active, but still not as large as that.
That's a big team, and that'd be interesting there. And it's to have your kit ready, be ready to move.
I still have my CERT kit.
I do,
Do you have yours?
I do, too.
I usually keep it in the trunk of my car, but I think I moved it. It's not in there right now. Even has a little hard hat.
Oh, yeah, the hard hat, the goggles, the work gloves.
Oh, yeah, the work gloves.
Flashlight. I bought a serious
some cool
flashlight.
tools, too.
I get the tools.
I got tools.
Oh, man.
And the vest, the reflective vest.
The reflective vest.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. You got, our listeners and viewers should join a CERT team. It's
That'd
great.
make a good segment, actually.
It would make a good segment.
So I did it.
We should retrain.
Yeah, when I did it, I did a series of 4 stories. Each week of training, I did another piece on what we did that week.
Oh, cool.
So it's kind of a neat
neat
thing. And I think it got some people involved.
Mm-hmm.
Hope it did.
I hope so. Well, some other news. This is just in from Donald Eng at the Monroe Courier. A fire broke out Sunday afternoon around 4:30 at a Percheron Drive home in the Stevenson section of Monroe. The residents were not home when neighbors spotted smoke and flames in the rear of the 3,600 square foot home. Volunteer firefighters just returning to their stations from an earlier search for a missing person quickly extinguished the bulk of the fire before it traveled further into the roof and attic area. Approximately 25 volunteer firefighters from Stevenson, Monroe, and Stepney volunteer fire departments extinguished the fire under the direction of Stevenson Fire Chief Robert Galbraith. Because the area does not have hydrants, additional tanker trucks were called from Newtown, Oxford, and Shelton, but were not needed. A crew from the Long Hill Fire Department in Trumbull also responded to the scene, primarily to provide relief for the initial crews who were operating in full protective gear in the stifling heat. It took about 30 minutes to get the fire completely under control. Police officers were also able to safely remove the family dogs. There were no significant injuries to firefighters, although some were treated at the scene for heat-related conditions. The Monroe Fire Marshal's office investigated the cause of the blaze, citing improperly discarded smoking materials. The heavy fire damage was limited to the interior and exterior of the family room, with smoke damage in other sections of the house. So good news there that no one was injured and the family dogs got out.
They got the dogs out, yeah. That's another that we talk about heat and having to protect yourselves. Those guys in that heavy gear. And inevitably, on a day as oppressively hot and humid as we have here today, there's going to be some incident.
Yeah.
Don, what are we looking at for the rest of the day?
As far as weather, what you see right now is what you're going to get for pretty much the whole rest of the day. It's hot, hazy, humid, slight chance of showers or thunderstorms throughout the day and through the night. We're expecting a high of about 92 degrees, and more of the same tomorrow. High of about 90, dropping down only into the mid-70s and remaining humid overnight, so not particularly comfortable. The good news is, starting Wednesday, it should be a beautiful rest of the week. Sunny skies Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. High temps expected to be only in the low 80s and clear and cool at night. Temps are right around 60 degrees. Right now, outside our Shelton studio, it is a oppressive 90 degrees, 87 in Ridgefield. It's actually a bit cooler, 86 on the water in Fairfield. Coffee break time, 11:57.
Thanks, Don. Well, as we mentioned at the top of the hour, a man is dead after police found him unresponsive in a Naugatuck Brook Sunday afternoon. Police were called to the 300 block of Rubber Avenue around 4:15 for a report of an unresponsive man in a brook located between Etna Street and Rubber Avenue. Upon arrival, officers found the unresponsive man. He was transported to St. Mary's Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Naugatuck police are still investigating the circumstances surrounding his death. No further information was available.
Thanks, Kate. As we reported earlier, New Canaan is proceeding toward a permanent home for its post office. An update was emailed to the New Canaan Advertiser over the weekend. Progress being made toward the 10-year lease and toward the shape of the federal-style building on Locust Avenue that will become the permanent post office in New Canaan. More on that at ncadvertiser.com as it develops.
Thanks, John. Well, in Milford, a former Boys and Girls Village employee was arrested on a warrant July 16th, charged with assaulting a juvenile under his care while he worked at the Boys and Girls Village. 37-year-old Aaron Virgo of New Haven has been charged with third-degree assault and risk of injury to a minor. He was released on a promise to appear in court August 11th. The Boys and Girls Village has since issued a statement saying it is fully cooperating with the investigation of the former employee arrested. Details of the assault have not been disclosed, but it is said to have happened several months ago. The village provides residential and daycare programs for at-risk students in elementary and high school. It serves as both a mental health treatment program and a school. That employee, Virgo, has been suspended, and the Boys and Girls Village has opened their own internal investigation. Coffee break time is 11:58.
So programming note here, we will be back on at 2 o'clock. With Nutmeg Sports, we're going to look at local baseball, Legion Ball with Bill Bloxam. Rich Patera of Sports Fairfield is going to talk about the Little League tournaments. Rocco Veluzzo is going to talk about a team on a really hot streak in Weston. Then later on, we're going to talk to Rob Adams, who will check in during the regular Nutmeg Sports, about a special program he's going to do this afternoon from an event that he is at. So stay tuned later on HANradio.com, streaming on the Hersam Acorn Network for Nutmeg Sports at 2.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for your coffee break today. We'll be back tomorrow at 11. Have a great day and stay cool.
Hersam Acorn and HANradio.com. The leader in local news, sports, arts, and entertainment in southwestern Connecticut.
Want to get in touch with HAN Radio? You can find us on Twitter at Hersam Radio, on Facebook at Hersam Acorn Radio, or email us at radio@hersamacorn.com.